Hey, how are you doing? I trust you're well. It's been a minute, right? Yeah, so welcome back. Yes, we're going to call this show Matters Arising, where we're going to talk about stories that are trending or may have trended in the course of the week and for the purpose of learning. We get to do this as often as we can, okay? So, this story of JAMB and everything, I'm sure you saw that story over the week of about 77% of students who wrote JAMB scored below 200. And I know we are now aunties and uncles, and I know how a lot of people are like, never in my time, in my days. Why you and I, we know that if it's not for special center, you wouldn't have passed JAMB. But that is not the discussion of today. We're going to talk about that later or in some other time, but that day is not today. I am here to talk about my JAMB story. When the story trended, or while the conversation was going on and everything, it made me remember my personal story with JAMB. Now, it's a long one. I'm going to try to cut it short. So in sometime 2008, I first wrote JAMB. I didn't get into the university. I remember I chose NDU, Niger Delta University, as my first and second choice, and everything went to right post UME and bring this, bring that, so that didn't quite work out. So I went to pre-science, ASUD pre-science, precisely in Nsukka. Everything was going fine and good, and then we wrote JAMB, and there was a long strike in between. In fact, there was a long strike before I left, a very long one. If you know, this happened around 2009, 2010. So I wrote JAMB for the second time in 2010. My brothers and sisters, you're supposed to score an aggregate of 400. That's 100 for each subject, and you have to write a total of 4 subjects. So I wrote maths, English, government, and I think commerce. I can't remember now. But guess what? At the time, my English was missing. How can I get into the university with just 3 subjects? I was devastated. It didn't happen to just me. There were like 2 or 3 other people that I know that had the same issue. Like one subject was missing from their results. How? And it's JAMB. Who do you go to? And social media then was just coming out. It was new. How do you even, there was no social media at that time, in fact, So it was hard. But then I happened to have an auntie who her husband used to work with JAMB. I told my father at the end of the day, we contacted him, and he was mentioning some huge amount of money. And the whole thing just got to me. How did I write JAMB the first time? And I've written the second time. And for those 3 subjects that came out, I had scored over 180. But then even if it was over 300, I can't get into the university with just 3 subjects. How do I get the 4th subject to come out? So he said, hey, you bring money for this, you bring money, they'll sort it. I was just devastated, to say the least. I was depressed. And that brought about my suicide attempt. Yes, I attempted to take my own life because, as a student, it feels like, oh, you're just in school, you're just enjoying. Students go through a lot. The fact that you can write exams that others will pass and you're not passed, especially when you're a passionate person, it can be devastating. Other people have moved on with their lives. Other people have gotten admission into their schools. Some even left pre-science. Some people are just waiting to get into the university. For that pre-science that year, I don't even know what happened because we didn't even get to write the final exam, and it's crazy. There was strike and we were just waiting for exams to happen. But then that's another story that I'd rather not even talk about. So back to the JAMB story. I was just wondering, why me? Every other person got their 4 subjects complete. Even if your total score is not even up to you, at least you have. Why will my own be missing? And a few others. At the end of the day, I was just so depressed. I fell into depression and I attempted to take my own life. Yes, how did I do that? I dressed up, went to the market. I had overheard someone talk about rat poisoning that can actually kill humans also. And then I thought, you know what? Yes, I called that name. You trust the devil now. The devil reminded me of that conversation and the name of that medicine that was mentioned. And I went to the market. I kept looking for the medicine. I looked for one. They were like, no, it has been banned. You can't get that anymore. So I got the alternative, went home. So I got alcohol to just make me muster the courage to kill myself. Oh my God. I got alcohol. I plan to get high, and then when I have enough liver, I'll just take that, But then I got high and started misbehaving, and that drew the attention of my neighbors, and they got to find out what I was going to even do eventually. And that was how I was saved from not taking my own life because of JAMB. So it can be a whole lot of pressure. I am not siding, or I'm not in support. I'm not saying it's a good thing to fail JAMB or anything like that. I'm just saying, if your sister, your brother, your nephew, your niece is among those, if you just cut them some slack, a whole lot of things can go on. In 1 year, you just hear like massive failure, massive this, massive that. And for you who have written the exam and you didn't do well this time around, don't worry. If you don't get into school this year, you're definitely going to get into the university next year. Or then just get yourself busy, okay? This is a time and that's one thing that helped me during the time that I was looking for admission and everything. I just got busy. I just kept learning skills and everything, and they definitely helped me in my life's journey. What happened to the JAMB? Did it come back? No. So what happened was that I was just shipped to a private university that I didn't need to write JAMB, and that was just it. So don't worry too much. Don't worry too much. I know that there are people who are definitely going to sink into this depression, maybe from the students or from the parents' angle, because it's not easy to come by money to write exams these days. But let's just be hopeful and look on the positive side always. Don't be like me, who tried to take her life because of just one failure. One failure or even 10 failures definitely does not define you. We're told the story of someone who wrote JAMB 9 times. 9 times! You know what it means to write JAMB once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5. He said 9 times. And before he finally got into the university, that is one determined human being. Of course, it is not your portion, but then, hey, 1 or 2 failures, or even 10 or 100, they don't define you. Dust yourself up, prepare yourself better for next year, and move on. There's tomorrow. And as long as there's life, there is hope for better, best, and bester days. I love you. Till I come your way again, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and more. I love you. I don't know how to do this thing, but hey, take care. Bye.